A chill has grown in the air. The sun has reached a certain point, and everything is painted in a golden haze. The harvest is far behind us, and we all wait with eager anticipation for the bounties to unfurl. It's that special time of day, and here we are once again, gathered together as something old and familiar haunts us. Maganda gabi. Let's start there. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. How long has it been since we last said these words? Since it was last my voice to your ears. According to my calendar, it's only been a week or two. But for whatever reason, it feels a lot longer, somehow. In any case, welcome back from wherever you were or whatever you were doing. I hope it was fun. It's great seeing you again. Well, I guess not really see, since this is radio and all, but you know what I mean. Anyways, my name is Marina, and I'm your nighttime host here at 87.7 FM. I'm here to bring you all the news and more from our whimsical and honestly mysterious city. Joining me in the producer's booth is our station intern, Miwai. She's filling in while my regular producer, Blaine, is away for personal health reasons. Anyways, enough of that. Let's get to the news. Apparently, ghosts are a thing. This probably doesn't sound too world-shattering at first, but it's true. Translucent specters have been spotted moving around the city after the tragic house fire on Raven Road a couple weeks ago. Eyewitnesses report seeing individuals cloaked in long white cloths, moving through walls, lurking in dark empty spaces, and taking all the good seats at the local jazz hop cafes. It appears that there have been a lot of ghost sightings at many of the city's jazz cafes as of late. Anyways, these apparent specters are often seen hovering, softly whispering messages that can't quite be understood, and watching the world through hollow and empty eye holes that peer into nothing. As of this moment, it's unclear if they want anything, or if this is just another natural thing we have to deal with. All we do know is that they're mostly harmless, and also enjoy a good caramel macchiato. So if you do happen to run into one of these ghosts, don't worry about it. It's probably fine. Anyways, there will be more on this as it develops. You know, it's funny. I had a run-in myself with one of these ghosts the other day. I was getting out of my Muay Thai class, so I decided to pick up some show pao from the little Filipino place on Willow Way. You know, the new one that just opened up. Yeah, it was going to be just a little treat for me and Blaine. Well, anyways, about 5 or 6 of these white cloth-covered phantoms were standing in line, staring at the menu, and just generally looking ominous, but like in a familiar sort of way. Anyways, I wouldn't mind too much, but they took up so much space, and trying to order was so hard, and it just took me forever to get to the front of the line. But hey, At least the buns were hot by the time I got them, and Blaine was still at home in one piece. And honestly, at the end of the day, that's all I care about. Good food and good friends, all together. And Blaine, they're still holding on, despite everything that's happened. They're getting better, I think. Anyways, Newai just put a traffic report on my desk, and then she left with a cartwheel out of the room. So, I should probably read this. A bustling body of bizarre beings are boldly barricading Benton Bridge. These faint figures are physically phantom-like and faded in form, and yet fiercely fit enough to cause frustrating fights. Expect dramatic detours and delays during this draining drudgery through the specters. It's going to be rough tonight for anyone who takes A-Train, which includes myself. Oh. Mist rolls in by a house that was lost. A man stands near the edge and ponders the cost. For now the monster seems to be gone. But this was just an act that will only last for so long. He lifts up his head and sighs to a ghost. Amidst so many new faces, he can't quite find the one he loves most. And this is all for traffic today. So, at the current moment, it seems there is a ghost concert currently underway at the old dance gazebo on Willow Way. The spirits themselves aren't performing, as they seem to only be hovering and silently watching. But a large number of them have gathered around the stage right as the Cavaliers were practicing for their big event tomorrow evening. Lead singer of the Cavaliers, Allison Albright, says that this isn't a concert for ghosts. In fact, they weren't supposed to be up there today, but the specters suddenly appeared in large numbers and seemed to be blocking all possible exits from the stage. And despite their opaque form, these specters are quite solid. So, the band is stuck and have seemingly resigned themselves to perform until rescue can come. Like the phrase goes that I heard once, you play the hand you're dealt, not the one you wish you had. Where did I hear that before? I don't know. But we'll be sure to update you when and if the police show up to provide any assistance to the currently entrapped band. You know, while we're on the topic, I think it's interesting to consider what the police are currently up to. After the fire a couple weeks ago, an old house on Ravens Road burnt down, and for the record, Blaine and I had nothing to do with that. We were connected in no ways. Anyway, my point is, since the fire, things have been interesting. I've tried to reach out to Sheriff Hawthorne for thoughts, guidance, or even just a statement, but here I am once again, empty-handed. Apparently, Sheriff Olivia Hawthorne has been a difficult person to get a hold of for the last couple of weeks. According to the other officers, she's just busier than usual, seemingly carrying a heavy burden on her shoulders. It's as if her arch nemesis of 8 years had suddenly been released back into the world she had sworn to protect. Anyways, while she's fulfilling her duties, it's clear to many that she's not in the public limelight anymore. The reasons behind this are unknown. I wish I had more to say, but that's all I got. It's been especially frustrating for me because After the events of the last couple of weeks, I've had a lot of questions on my mind. And she saved me from that whole incident with Jack. I helped her with the whole door situation. I felt like we reached some sort of understanding, right? It's like we were finally working on the same team, reaching towards a place where we could trust each other. But apparently, I was wrong. She hasn't responded to any of my texts or calls or visits to the police station or even my raccoon messages. It's just nothing. But on the bright side, all of this has caused me to look around the radio station a bit more. I got a little curious after, the events with Blaine. Something was mentioned to me about the radio host that came before, and for whatever reason, that stuck out in my mind. So I did a little digging through the archives. There's a lot of old broadcast recordings, schedule notes, and other things that you wouldn't expect. Honestly, not much to find. Still, I started noticing what wasn't in the pile. So, there's a lot of old recordings from old broadcasts, my shows, news reports from the 80s, and a whole entire bookshelf from some guy named Rex Adams. It was pretty varied, well, except for one thing. There weren't any recordings from the radio host that came before me. There's a lot from some guy named Rex Adams, but nothing for the nighttime slot for about 8 years. Like, that's super weird, right? I checked, I searched, and I basically reorganized the entire place, but still, there was nothing. We just have a backlog of programming going back to the late 70s. You'd figured it wouldn't be that hard to find something from just a couple years ago, and yet, nothing. Just an empty space on the shelf where there should be stuff. I tried asking Jack about it, but he doesn't know anything about what I'm talking about. According to him, he had only been in the city for a few months and wouldn't really know anything about a previous nighttime host. It's also important to note that he's mentally stuck in the year 2015. So maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't. It's difficult to tell, and I'm not sure if I want to try. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that there's a bigger puzzle going on here, and I'm missing pieces to it. I want to help Blaine find out what's going on here, but at the moment, I feel like I've hit a dead end. So, what else can I do? Anyways, I'm getting reports now that City Hall is completely crowded with these interesting ghosts. It's a sea of white sheets and empty, hollow eyes all the way to the outer steps of the building. They don't seem to have any clear demands. They're just there, taking up space and interrupting daily life. If this changes or not, we'll be sure to let you know. I think Niwai just ran out to go chase the story with some mobile broadcasting stuff and a notepad in her hand. The kid has a lot of gusto, so I'll be sure to fill you in once she gets back to me on what's going on. Until then, I'm tired and I think my boba just arrived, so let's take an ad break.
Life's filled with so many questions. What is my purpose? How do I get a girlfriend? Where am I, really? Hard questions require hard solutions. The answer will come. Take a deep breath and relax. Start wearing flannel. For everyday problems, we're right here for you. The cozy congregation of Sasquatch. Come worship with us. You'll be real glad you came.
And welcome back, everyone. Currently, there's no sign of Darian, but I'm not super surprised about that. He's probably still on medical leave after the incident. Or, I don't know, maybe he got caught up in traffic? The train's still backed up, and from what I hear, the roads are also rather blocked by walls of white sheets. These ghosts seem to have expanded everywhere. In fact, Niwai has texted to inform me that she won't be able to make it back to the radio station because she's currently trapped somewhere near City Hall. So, there's your update. It looks like we're going to have to wait. But in the meantime, let's read a poem. On the east side of town sits an interesting park. At first, it's not much, but wait until dark. Special things happen when nighttime is near. As the sun starts to set, the ghosts all appear. See the specters dressed in their sheets of white, swinging and running their phantom delights. For when twilight comes, they no longer hide. And so plays the ghost at the park on Eastside. Twisting and twirling their games until dawn, here play the remnants of lives that are long gone. No future to make, nor secrets to hide. Here play the ghosts at the park on Eastside. And sunrise comes at playtime's end. Poor ghosts fade from the world once again. Vanishing fast are those who have died, but oh, how they dream of nights on Eastside. On the east side of town sits an interesting park. Ghosts come to play when the sky has turned dark. So here's an update on the current phantom situation. Since I began my broadcast, the ghost population has exploded in our city. Luckily, this hasn't been exploding in the normal way that ghost populations tend to grow. Don't worry, as far as I can tell, there isn't any mass murderer on the loose or violent pandemic ravaging all of us. At least, not as far as I'm aware of. Anyways, the point is that there are sheet ghosts, and they are everywhere. The streets are flooded with crowds of these spectral beings. Jazz hop cafes and other businesses are filled to the brim with these shrouded phantoms. And even now, there are quite a few filling the station. Speaking of which, we now have a new segment. So, everyone, I hope you're as excited as I am, because it's time for a surprise interview. There are currently about 3 ghosts in the studio with me. A couple are blocking the door, and all attempts to push past them have proven pointless. And also, the third one is standing by the spare microphone set up for interviews. So, in lieu of the sounds of a radio host violently breaking through a couple of still bodies, why don't we make the best of a situation? You know, it can't be all bad. So let's begin. Okay, hello there, ghost friend. Do you have a name I can call you? No? Oh, okay then. Are there any pronouns you prefer? All right, I'll just stick with them. Or It's... can you help me out here? Okay, so, ghost or just apparition? I don't know. Is ghost an offensive tone? No response. Oh dear. That is a lot of vibrating, so, ghost then. Ghost. So, ghost, can you give any insights on the current rise of the sheet ghost population? Why are you all here? Is there any specific goal or... alright then. So, I don't know if it's coming through the broadcast or not, but the ghosts have started to vibrate, and there's a low hum in the room, and now they're floating. All three ghosts have begun to float and vibrate and hum, and the room is filling with some sort of mist or fog. It's really thick. And now everything, oh gosh, it smells like French toast, which isn't bad, but it's not great. Hold on everyone, I'm gonna get this mess sorted. In the meantime, let's cut commercial.
Sunshine and happy dreams to all you wonderful people. We're here to let you know that the Big Yellow House of Arts and Crafts is back. We know that things have been a bit tricky since the arson attack that took down our building last year, but we're finally rising up from the ashes. I wish we could say the same about Sunshine Floral. Poor Guinevere. Anyways, enough about that. Let's focus on positive stuff. This week is our big reopening celebration. All this week, it's buy one, get one free for your most important crafting needs. There will also be half-off pottery wheel rentals. Crazy? We know! So stop in and take advantage while you can, because these deals won't last forever, just like our florist neighbors. The Big Yellow House of Arts and Crafts! Just look for the big yellow building on Rainbow Road. It's the one that wasn't burnt down in a horrible mess. Stop in and get started on projects of a lifetime. Stop in and make memories. Stop in and help us pay our bills. Times have been tough since the fire, and we're not doing great at all. This is just an act to keep my poor life together. Please help. Anyways, see you soon!
And welcome back, everyone. So, I'm not quite sure what happened. One minute, the room is super hazy and filled with ghosts, and then the next, nothing. I wish I had something more to tell you, but nope, nothing. They all just vanished. Poof, gone, as if I made the entire thing up. All that's left is the subtle smell of French toast and a slight humidity in the studio. As I sort through the mess left behind, I can see that all across the city, the ghosts have started to vanish. Restaurants are emptied, traffic begins to move, and the Cavaliers are finally free from the old dance gazebo. In all these cases, we are left free, and we are left by ourselves. Once again, only with the faint smell of French toast and a slight humidity to remember what has come before. Another problem has passed, and here we are once again, stronger and wiser than before. We've grown, and looking back at our past problems with a wistful satisfaction. Not because our problems were easy, but because we managed to get through it. What a wonderful time to be alive. I hope you'll stay tuned with me for the future problems and adventures to come. Until then, hey, what's this? There's an old tape, and there's a little note taped to the surface. Let me just... Thanks for the fun. It's rare we get to be seen. And so if you want more, come find us where the phantoms sing. And then there's an address for Old Town. Well, it looks like we helped something. You know, maybe that's what all the ghosts wanted. A chance to be seen. They wanted to be known, and honestly, I'm kind of glad I could help. Anyways, it looks like there's still more for me to look through with Blaine. So stay tuned for whenever we get to it. And until then, I hope you have a good night.
Dream Girl City is a production by N.J. Schulze. It was written, produced, and acted by N.J. Schulze. The music throughout will be listed in the credits to acknowledge all those who helped. The poem for today was The Ghost on Eastside by N.J. Schulze. Have a question? Have a comment? Have a poem you want to send in? Do you want to pledge your allegiance to Sasquatch and his holy congregation? Bring this and more to our email at dreamgirlcityradio@gmail.com or look us up on social media. I'm sure you'll find us somewhere. Thank you to all of our supporters. It feels good to be back once again, and I hope you all are excited for what's to come. Until that time is here, look to the dark. There's something to hark.